yourself set up like this. I've got the block underneath. Equally, if you've got an excellent novel, it could go under there, or and your 1 or 2 pillows, and have it at the back of the mat so that you can sit in diamond pose in front of it. And when we go back, we will be lying back into a Supta Baddha Konasana, but you want the hips on the floor. But don't go there yet. We're just working with this diamond pose for starters and welcoming ourselves to the practice. So start to move the spine, inhaling and slowly opening through the front of the body. And with the exhale, curling in. Inhaling and opening through the front of the body, and exhaling. And you might like to work like this. So inhale and open the eyes, taking in the scene around you, and as you exhale, close the eyes and turn in to yourself. Just this symbolic gesture of beginning to tune into the inner environment, the inner landscape. And so you shouldn't be on any support here, just so that you can allow the movement to happen from the hips. It's like this, like a boat, a sailing boat rocking on a Mediterranean ocean. And start to get a sense of everything that's gone on today, whether it's been busy or quiet, and even getting a sense of anything that's going on in your life, and maybe keeping the eyes closed now. Anything, any troubles, problems, issues, worries that you may have at the moment, and just get a sense of their presence. And for some people, their problems are right up in their face, close, bright, and they can't escape them. But however you represent these issues, problems, worries, just get a sense of where they are in your personal space. And as you continue to rock like this, oceanic ebb and flow, just get a sense of sending those problems and worries and moving them away, like they are in a car or a vehicle or a drone, and they're simply being carried away further and further from you. And allowing instead a feeling of spaciousness to come to your inner landscape, as well as your personal space. And then from here you can come into stillness and just pausing, dropping down from crown to base. And we will move towards this Supta Baddha Konasana. So you don't need to have a pillow there. If you don't have one, that's fine. But if you do, and if you can have a roll so whether it's your towel or a blanket, I go over the feet and tuck the thighs. But I don't have that open. My hips aren't that open, so it supports my legs in that way. And coming to lie back and just rearranging as you need to. I feel like that's a bit high for me, and oh goodness, I hope I don't fall asleep here, but I'm sure I'll be good. Alright, so just taking some time to feel the support. You might even like to lift the hips and scoop the tail and just get a sense of an ease coming into the lower back. And that same spaciousness that you created in your personal space, you can bring it into the neck and shoulders. And any tension through the neck and shoulders simply drops away the same way that an autumn leaf would. And it's right time, right place, just drifting to the earth. And find a little bit of space between the two rows of back teeth. And allowing that spaciousness to spread across the eyes and the forehead. The screen of the mind becomes like the starry night sky. And in this space of feeling supported and held, you can allow a deeper relaxation to wash over you. And as this relaxation fills your body in the same way that water can fill a glass, you can feel a deep peace coming over you and an ease. And it's so comfortable and calm. And as that spaciousness fills the screen of your mind, you might notice the thoughts are like little bubbles, like a child that's blown into a bubble maker, and there are colourful bubbles drifting by. And at times they pop, and at times they drift higher. And you can get a sense that all these bubbles have a time and a place, and that they can drift off, leaving you with a spacious, peaceful expanse. They arise, they pop. This constant arising and passing away. Bring both hands onto the belly now and start to breathe down into your belly, finding a fullness there. And it's not forcing, it's this invitation. Lengthening not only the inhale but also the exhale. Welcoming the fresh breath, fresh life, fresh energy, prana. And the exhale, welcoming that surrender, that letting go, the two sides of the one coin, the ebb and the flow, filling and emptying, arising and passing away. Trusting this cycle of life. You can then stretch and awaken your body further, maybe stretching the arms overhead. And whether you'd like to come up through the center, or as I like to do, is to roll over and pause in the recovery position for a moment before coming on up. And we'll come up and onto, when you're ready, no problem. Coming around and onto hands and knees. and awakening the body a little more. So just a few cat's breath movements and making them luscious, making them full and intimately connected with your breath. Exhale to round and dome. Inhale to expand and open. And then taking the next exhale, bring the right knee into the chest. And with your inhale, extend and lengthen back, and a couple of times like this. Inhale to extend. And last one. Step the foot through and plant the left hand onto the earth and inhale your right arm to the sky. So check the knee isn't collapsing out to the side. Stay steady and grounded, but you might even like to bring that arm overhead and even straightening the back leg and just getting a sense of that. Rather than winding up, this unwind and unraveling of the day, of the thoughts and of any tensions in the body. And then releasing the hand down and rocking back. So with your breath, inhale to move forward, lift the chest, and exhaling to rock back. And a couple more times. Feel free to have the hands on a block if you need to. And last one, coming back. And you can send that right leg back behind you. Reach back and catch hold. And that unraveling. So for me, that tightness often comes into the quads. So opening and kicking the foot back and unraveling all of that tightness and tension. And then releasing and touching the leg down. Stretch the arms forward and into an anahatasana. So you can be hands flat on the floor, lifting through the elbows, lifting through the armpits, but then this melting down of the chest towards the earth. Melting and softening, maybe with a little bit of side to side, serpentine movement. And then taking the elbows down and coming forward and onto your belly. And just into a little Sphinx pose for a moment. Again with that side to side meandering. So for me, with all of these soft movements, it really helps to surprisingly clear tension. It doesn't even need to be this deep stretch, just the little repetitive movements that unravel. Okay, so then let's take the right arm across the body and coming down. I don't know how this microphone is going to go, but here we go. So stretching the left arm forward, and if you do have any shoulder issues, then you'll need to, Amber, I don't know how you're going to go with this, but actively press the right hand down into the floor, and that should activate around the joint capsule and protect a little, melting the head down. We won't stay here too long. Just cross the other arm over, so the arms are crossed in front of the body like this. And then inchworm your way forward to increase the opening. Again, a little bit of hand activation could help to support pressing the back of the hand into the floor. I'm a little lifted here, but you can go into full pancake variation, so melting down. All right, then we take that right arm across and coming onto your back and into a twist. So you stay with the right hand to the left knee and then twisting. And again, rather than feeling it as this compressive, feel like it's unraveling instead. What is it that you want to peacefully unravel? Again, that tension, tightness, problems, worries. In the same way that you'd untangle a cord, just creating that space. And then from here, coming around and all the way onto your back, we'll lift into bridge pose a few times. So inhaling, lift the hips, lift the arms overhead, and exhaling and lowering the arms down, hips down. Inhaling to lift and exhaling. So inhaling to lift. This time, keep the hips lifted, bring the arms over and take your bridge pose here, just for a few moments. A feeling of the helium balloon lifting through the chest, lifting through the hips. And it happens effortlessly. And then release and lower yourself down. So right leg, again, bring that knee into the chest, stretch the leg up. And exhale to lower. So 3 times like this, inhaling, stretching up, and exhale to lower. And one last time, inhale to lift. Exhaling down. This time, if you wanted to, press through the hands and lift the hips as well. So this is a larger movement. You don't have to do it. You can keep the hips down. And this time, with your lift, cross the leg over and keep lifting through the hips again, that helium balloon lift, and reaching through the right knee to open through the inner thigh now. And taking the hips down, bring the right knee, I think I might have mixed myself up, but you're in threading the needle, you've got the right knee and on top and the left knee bent, hugging in. And even if you get mixed up, no problem, just a yoga pose. Okay, so hug it in. You could even lift the head up and give yourself a sweet embrace. And then releasing and touching down. So into a little bit of a yin stretch now to open through the side ribs. So we'll roll over. It doesn't matter which side, maybe whichever side you can see me on. So it's a difficult place to align with, but it's the nipple line. So about where the nipples are, because everyone's nipples are in different places. So the best you can, making sure that you're not, so it's just not here at the side waist. See how the armpit is aligned with the blanket, and then stretching the arm over. So you could stay here. If you need more support, you could have the head under the hand under the head. But if you're able to, reaching over and just focus on breathing into those side ribs like they're gills, and you're getting more life through those gills. And it may not feel like much at the moment, but as soon as you come out of it, you'll know, I've got all this room to breathe now. What a blessing, room to breathe. So focus on those side ribs, flaring and opening out. And then from here you can roll across down onto your belly and rise back up to hands and knees. You can pop your support off to the side, and then we'll take the second side. So from hands and knees, stretching the left leg back, inhale to open, and exhale, coiling in. Find the fullness of the movement. Again, that ebb and flow, the arising, the passing away, the dawn, the sun setting. Then from here, stepping forward, and take the right hand forward, stretch the left arm up. Lift through the back knee and extend that top arm overhead. And going for this full corkscrew movement, that double helix of our DNA, looking over the shoulder or past the armpit with a sense of this expansion. Instead of contraction, instead of this wringing out, can you unravel? And then from there, touching down and rocking back and working with your breath. Inhale forward and exhale to rock back. Some of you might need a block. I've also heard of people using jars for blocks. So just improvise. Very important at the moment, that adaptability. And with one last round, rocking back, pausing for a moment, and making your way forward. Stretch the left leg back, catching hold. Kick the foot back, heart forward. And staying steady by grounding down through the hand and shin, but finding that opening, the same way that a tree would, its roots firmly grounded, yet expanding to the sky. And then release and touch down. Again, come into Anahatasana. So this is where the thighs are vertical rather than child's pose. And again, maybe finding that little bit of movement here, like the swing bridge. So not for everyone, it's going to depend on your shoulders. But that little swing bridge movement from the side of a canyon to the other side. And dropping the elbows down, coming forward. Finding your Sphinx pose, or if you wanted to, maybe taking it up into Cobra. Find your place. Place of opening, that place of peacefulness. And then making your way down. Send the left arm across the body, right arm forward. And again, if you've got any shoulder concerns, it may not be right for you, but you could try activating through that the back of the left hand to stabilize around the joint capsule. And then crossing the arm all the way over, and remember I'm up more, but you can go into a full pancake version, so flattening down as much as possible and wriggling forward, and that's a beautiful opening to that space in between the shoulder blades. Opening in between the shoulder blades. So go ahead, let the head bow down and breathe into that space. Pry it open. And then making your way up enough so that you can slide the left arm through further and turn this into the twist. So left hand onto the right knee and then twisting yourself around. So rather than, again, that shrinking, how can you expand from base to crown? Find the fullness, maybe by bringing that left shoulder through further, left shoulder blade through further. Maybe it's by lengthening your breath. And then from here we'll return onto our backs. And taking the bridge pose position once again, but this time, if you wanted to, if you have a block, you could do this instead of bridge, or you could do this restorative bridge, or you could take this legs up the wall without the wall position. You'd have to try it. I actually love it. But it's up to you. You might like to be in a more active bridge pose as well, which is, it's all included. All these possibilities, all this potential, all included. And when you're ready, coming down, and we'll take the left leg, bring the knee into the chest and extend it up. So that's our inhale and exhaling to cycle around. Not in any hurry, and making sure that you bring, again, that fullness, straightening the leg fully. This body is a metaphor, this possibility. So you can then lift if you'd like to, stretching up and lowering, adding in the bridge with the leg extension, making it as smooth and gliding as possible. It's very nourishing on the nervous system to move smoothly. So you can then cross over and hold this bridge pose option with the knee in the figure 4 shape, and lowering yourself down. Come into that threading the needle, keeping a little bit of activation through your left ankle. And again, so you could be in stillness. I quite like that gentle rocking. So that rocking like the boat on the ocean that we started with. I know that when I had babies, I just rocked the whole time, even when I wasn't holding a baby. It's actually very nourishing. But ultimately, it's a movement towards stillness as well. Okay, so then coming down and unraveling. So this is where we have the support again. I'll just go this side. You can bring in your roll. A rolled towel would be good as well. So you've got the higher the roll, the more intense it's going to be, and you'll bring the arm up and over. So remember, it's not at the side waist, it's at the chest, and then stretching the other arm over the top. If you feel any tugs on the lower back, you could even bring some support between the knees as well. So stretching over, and then just that focus on the space of the side ribs. Breathing into a softening. It's always in yoga that invitation. Not so much forcing the opening, but the unraveling that allows the flowering, allows the blossoming. Welcoming that opening. The way you'd welcome the sun over the horizon. And then to come on up, come back to your seated position. Just a simple cross legs. And pausing for a moment to feel the difference through the body. Scanning from the top of the head, gliding down to the tips of the toes. You can join the hands together into Namaste. And take an inhale to stretch the arms up overhead. Catch a hold of the right elbow or above the right elbow, and then leaning off to that right side. Cross the arms overhead and bring this right arm up across the body, left arm braces. And bringing in a little neck stretch here, so left hand holds onto the side of the head if that's available. And then bring the head back to level. Entwine the arms, taking Garuda arms, and with your breath, inhale to lift the elbows high. Exhale, elbows to navel, folding. That same spinal opening that we had at the beginning, but adding in that deeper opening through the shoulders and a deeper bowing in. Just one last round. Inhale. Sometimes the repetition can be good for a deeper opening. Come back to this, holding on to the elbows. And then the left arm can go out to the side. So you're actively taking the left hand and arm down to increase the opening through the right side ribs, but aim for the back corner. So aim for that, a different opening. And then coming on up and crossing the arm across the body. So we have done these moves, but in a different shape now, perhaps. Holding on to the head. Visualize the length coming. Reach the crown of the head over like this. Over arch, the arc of a rainbow. And then coming back through center and entwining, pulsing with the arms 3 times. Inhale to lift. And exhaling, elbows to navel. As you take the elbows forward, reach them up and back in this larger arc as well. Inhale to reach up, holding on to the elbows, lift again, and then releasing the arms down and take the hands down. So imagine these are like drain pipes, earthed. And all of the tension and tightness from the neck and shoulders drains down. All the problems, worries, the weight of the world that's hanging on the shoulders, it can all simply drain into the earth. The earth has incredible capacity to transform. It can take coal and transform it into diamonds. So don't worry, you're not burdening the earth. She can bear your load for now. And then joining the hands back together into Namaste, we'll move towards Babbling Brook. So you do need 2 bits of equipment. So it's the roll that we had, as well as the pillow underneath the knees. So the position is having the support is right up. Again, the rookie error is it's more at the lower back, but you want it right up at the chest. So this is where the chest area is where we tend to collapse. Here, we want that beautiful opening out. And the support underneath the thighs or the knees, wherever it seems appropriate for you. And if if you need some support under the head, you could do that as well. You could grab a book or something. And you can stay in this shape. So the posture is called babbling brook, which means that you want to flow like water, like Bruce Lee said, flow like water. But it's not in movement, it's in stillness. Allow yourself to become that calm, still lake that has the calm, still part of a river that also has the river continuing downstream. So move like water. Move like water means to be able to take every single turn, all the twists and turns, to not be stopped by boulders, by rocks, by roadblocks, but to find a way, to meander, to ripple and curl and sway and follow a new pathway, a different opening, a different possibility. Flow like water. Even in stillness. Accessing that relaxed, vibrant flow state. Aware, awake. Attentive in the most relaxed way. Some people find this pose supremely comfortable. And you can stay here like this for Shavasana, but if you are uncomfortable in this shape, then by all means rearrange and maybe removing this support underneath the back of the heart. However, know that if it's uncomfortable, it's probably something that you need to do a little more regularly. Now more than ever, that opening is needed. Place yourself down in stillness for a few moments of Shavasana. Trusting that you have all the energy, that you are able to flow with everything. obstacle is not the end, it is simply inviting another way. And that even in the softness, that you can have incredible strength and power and energy. The same way that a tiny trickle can carve an enormous canyon. Rather than these troubles being overwhelming, that you can instead have a childlike wonder at them. In the same way that a child would be in awe of the sunrise, or the clouds as they drift by, or the breeze on their skin. Have this same sense of newness, the same sense of potential, possibilities, wonder and awe. Namaste to you all.